gonna drink some water here. Hey guys, what's up? Why do I clap? I clap like that. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. It's Alyssa Irene. If you guys are just tuning into my channel, hi there, I'm blind. So yeah, if you guys are new to my channel, be sure to go ahead and check out some of the videos that I do have on my channel. I like to talk about my visual impairment. I like to talk about my life. I like to talk about beauty. I like to talk about anything that I'm interested in, really. And for all of my lovely friends who are back and watching me again, hi there. It's nice to see you guys. Not really, because I can't see. So if you guys haven't already seen my video where I talked about the top 10 things that suck about being blind, I will go ahead and actually post that in the description box down below. Be sure to go ahead and watch that. I think it's just as funny, if not funnier, than this video. So a lot of people actually requested me to do a part 2, which is talking about the pros of being blind, and I was like over the moon, like ready to do it. I was planning on doing one of these because I don't know, a lot of people don't think that there's pros to being blind, and I definitely have learned over the years that there are some major pros about being blind, and I'm not afraid to share those pros. So today, you guys are just gonna kind of get in on my life. These are the reasons why I don't mind being blind, and that it's actually kind of beneficial in a way. I'm gonna make this intro really short. We're just gonna get on with the video. So when I talked about the things that suck about being blind, I mentioned in my last video that I cannot drive. Now this is just kind of on like a person-to-person basis. I just kind of like got to the point in my life where I realized that driving wasn't a safe option for me, and I am perfectly okay with that. Number 1 is not having to worry about being the designated driver. As much as I love being a responsible young adult, I don't need to worry about that like, pressure of having to transport people safely. So I know for sure that when that time comes, no one's gonna look at me and say, Alyssa, drive this person home, because I'm not doing it. So I just think that's something that's kind of funny. Yeah, maybe someone will like take me home when I've had too much to drink, or I'll just be sitting in my house all alone drinking. Number 2 also has to deal with like vehicles and driving and things like that. And so because I don't drive, I clearly don't have my own vehicle. I don't have to worry about like transporting myself anywhere. And with that comes the benefit of not having to pay financial that have to do with cars. So I don't need to worry about car insurance. I don't need to worry about paying off a car. Just things that bounce off of having a vehicle and having to have financials. Now I am a very courteous friend, and I do love to slip like gas money, pay for meals for my friends if they are, you know, going out and about with me. So I'm always showing appreciation for the people who do drive me places. Being visually impaired has actually benefited me in the sense that not being able to drive has actually saved me some money. So, and let me just say, I'm not ashamed. Okay guys, so since I don't have the luxury of being able to see things distance-wise, or even if I need to read over something, this one is huge for me, and it's definitely impacted my everyday life. So I have really great memory. Now, I'm not talking about like you can tell me to go pick up like bananas from the store. I'm not necessarily gonna remember that. It's more of like really good like visual memory. So I don't know how to explain it. This is like getting really hard to explain. My visual memory is really good. Now, even though some of you guys are like, you can't see Alyssa, well, if I could see it up to my size, I'm really good at like memorizing like keywords and things like that kind of hint back towards like answers. I just noticed that I have really good memory over the years, and the more I do like repetition, I'm really good at it. So you guys, this one is kind of a no-brainer. When I started losing my vision, there was that like phase of my life where it was like, bye. And I was legitimately sad. It sounds so crazy, but when they tell you that when one sense gives out, the rest kind of kick it into high gear, they're not kidding. I kid you not, I have supersonic hearing. I think my hearing is just as good as my dog's hearing. And this may sound kind of creepy. I don't try to eavesdrop on people, but when there are multiple conversations going on, I've gotten very good at just listening in on like one conversation, like muffling that one out and then going on to the next one, and I can hear what they say. And it's kind of creepy in a way because I'm not trying to, I just pick up on every little sound. And losing my eyesight has definitely helped me mobility wise with my other senses. So when I'm outside walking with Joel, or we're going, you know, downtown or out in the evening or something, I can hear the direction that the cars are coming. I can hear like audible signals in certain parts of like the city. But just my senses overall have really not failed me, other than my vision. But my other senses have really just kind of kicked it into high gear and have really been like superpower senses. And I think that's something that, I don't know, is really good. And like, it's just crazy because then I'll be sitting with someone, I'm like, did you hear that? And they're like, no. And I'm like, of course you can't, because you don't have superpower senses. It's something I've never gotten to experience until I started losing some of my vision. So I think that's really cool. Here kind of comes like the cheesier part of losing my vision. So I think a pro of kind of going through this like journey in my life and having to experience something like this, I've definitely I think one good thing that comes out of it is I'm able to educate and break stereotypes, and I think that's something that I'm more proud of than anything. So for me, a pro of losing some of my eyesight is I'm able to break those stereotypes and tell them like, hey, I may not look blind, but I am blind. Especially in 2018 and into this year, that's something I want to implement more in my life, is just being able to educate people and kind of explain to them that blindness isn't something that you can actually see. For me, I categorize my disability as an invisible disability, and I love to prove people wrong. I love to just kind of like define the odds and make people be like, whoa, really, you're blind? And I'm like, yep, sure am. I'm glad I have the privilege to do that on like a daily basis. So the next one, I was telling my friend about this about a week or two ago, and she was like, that is not a pro, Alyssa. And I was like, yeah, it is. I'm just gonna be really honest. So because I can't see faces and I have a hard time identifying faces, the one pro to that is I don't need to see when people are staring at me. I know it sounds really weird. Like, why? What? Like, when you can see someone else's face and you do make eye contact, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like there's awkward energy when you make eye contact with someone and you're like, oh my God, they see me. I see them, like, this is really weird. Because I'm visually impaired and I can't see other people's faces, I'm just like strolling through the world like, oh my gosh, look at this, oh my gosh, look at that. I'm going about my life. I'll be completely honest, there's times where Joel or my friend or someone's like, you're just like staring at that person and that person's staring at you, because I think, I don't know, maybe I made eye contact with them, but I wouldn't know because I can't see. And I'm like, oh no, it's cool, like they can stare at me, it's fine. And they're like, that's so awkward. Because I can't see them looking at me, I'm like, okay, like it's fine. So I feel like not being able to see when people are staring at me makes me feel a lot more confident in a way, because I'm not concerned about people looking at me because I can't see if people are staring at me. And if you are staring at me, hi, how you doing? I don't mind it. I think that's a pro. I definitely think it's made me definitely more confident. So now we're gonna kind of get into like the feels of this. When I was diagnosed and when I was losing my vision and everything like that, I thought my life was like so hard. Let's be real. I thought my life was so hard. As I've gotten older, I'm definitely not as naive anymore. I am, realize that life happens for a reason and that shit happens. Like, it really, like, stuff just happens in life, and some things you just can't control and it's out of your hands. And I'm fine with that. With all of this happening in my life and thinking that my life is so tragic, I've definitely gotten a lot better at being more empathetic with people. And I love to explain the difference between being sympathetic and empathetic. So when someone's telling me that, oh, my friend is sick, or, oh, I lost someone in my family, I'm not just like, oh, that sucks. I'm like, oh my God, like I could not even imagine that. That must be so hard. Like, take time to yourself, really, there's less pity in my life and more like, I just want to help people. I just want to like be there for them, and I want to comfort them, and I know how people feel. So me going through something kind of traumatic has definitely allowed me to be an influence in other people's lives and just be there for them, because I know a lot of people in their lives can't be. I think it's more selfless just to put yourself in other people's shoes than just kind of worrying about your own situation. So, and I've definitely gotten a lot better with that over the years. So having my blind spots, I used to play like sports back in the day before I was diagnosed, and it was like, whatever. But as I've gotten older, my blind spot has definitely benefited me in the sense that I am like a game-winning champion. So in the summer, I love to play the bag toss. Cornhole. Is it cornhole? I don't know what it is. But anything that takes like central vision, like basketball or shooting darts or bowling, or you know what I mean? Like anything that is like directed central vision, I will destroy you at it. I will. I really will. And here's the trick. I focus on my blind spot. I look at my blind spot and I just, every time, it's like a gift. Like, I will beat you every time. Now, please don't go throwing tennis balls at me or anything, because when I work with the kiddos at my job and we're in PE and people are throwing basketballs around, like, of course I'm like, oh my God, don't hit me. That's just one little pro. For this one, it's not that I can't see people's faces. I can see people's faces. You just kind of gotta be like a little bit in my area for me to see who you are and what you're like and your features and stuff like that. But I feel like being someone who's visually impaired, I have gotten so much better at just actually getting to know someone for who they are. I could care less about what your eyebrows look like. I could care less about what your eye color is. I get to grasp those characteristics that I feel like not a lot of people are in tune about. So your voice, how you talk, and a lot of people have told me that I'm really good at like reading people, and I am. I pick up on like jokes and things you say. I'm a really good listener, by the way. So yeah, I like to think that I'm really attentive, and I get to learn more about people than like what they look like. So this is the last pro of being blind. And I think this one is a good one because as I'm getting older, I'm definitely realizing the kind of people I want to be surrounded with in my life. And at this point in my life, I have nothing but great support, great people, great friends. And losing my vision has definitely taught me like who wants to be there in my life and who wants to be present and who cares about like advocating for disabilities and things like that. I've had my fair share of like mean people in my life who don't understand my circumstances or what I'm going through, and I always just say like give them the benefit of the doubt because one day, you know, they will understand or they'll be in a situation where I feel like they'll get it and it'll click. But I definitely have gotten a lot better about just weaning people out of my life that aren't a good impact. So loyalty, I've definitely learned who is truly there for me. I have so many great friends. I have, you know, a great family, and they're always willing to help me when I need help. And I'm really, really happy for that. And I feel like despite anything that's gone on through my life, whether it's losing my vision or just anything, it's definitely taught me like who is really there for me, who is willing to help me, who's willing to be there for me and kind of not only advocate for me, but I always got like comments and stuff saying like, oh, I don't want to say I got bullied about it, but I'm not really ashamed to say that I got bullied. But I had like people say like, oh, you're faking it for attention, or like, I've hung out with people sometimes and they're not willing to like help me, or they think it's like a joke. And I don't know how to explain it. Just like kind of things that are a little bit sad, but now that I'm older, I look at it as a pro because I don't have to like surround myself with people who are like that. I'm definitely surrounded by people who love me and are willing to help me. And I couldn't be happier, and I can't even describe like how grateful I am because everyone that's in my life now is so accommodating to me, and it's like without command. Like I don't even need to tell someone to help me. I have so many people who just know me so well and are willing to be like, oh, hey, like this is what this says, like let's do this. And it feels very good. It feels very good to have people just know me and they're just willing and able to help me in any way that they can. So it sounds so corny and it sounds so cheesy, but I've just eliminated so much negativity out of my life, and like it feels so good. It feels so good. I could care less about what people have to say about me. I could literally care less about people judging me or not believing me or like anything like that. It feels so good. So those are my top 10 pros of being blind. Definitely things will change as the days pass. I will come up with more, even like weeks and months. Like I'm continuously learning the pros and the benefits to being visually impaired, and I wouldn't want my life any other way, to be honest, because I'm just so used to it at this point, and I'm totally okay with that. So if you guys want to go ahead and check out any of my previous videos, I will be sure to have those posted down below. I promise I'm going to get my posting schedule down as like perfect as I can get it. I really need to like set aside a time. Like that is the number one thing that I'm working on for 2019 is like figuring out my kind of schedule, because I am a person who enjoys consistency. So that's something that I really want to implement into all of my platforms. So, but yes, I wore a hat all day, so ignore my crazy hair. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you guys haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.